This is the 2013 Audi S6. It is a 5-seat sedan, powered by a twin-turbo V8 engine making 420 horsepower and 406 pound-feet of torque. All that is run through a 7-speed dual-clutch S-tronic transmission that comes with launch control, which I will demonstrate now. Traction control is off, transmission is in manual, left foot on the brake, right foot on the gas. It revs up to 5 grand and you dump and go. And you hit 60 miles an hour in 4.5 seconds. Not bad for a 5-passenger sedan costing $70,000. First off, what I like about the S6 is the drivetrain. It's fun to drive. It wants you to be sporting. It's an enthusiast setup. The twin turbos, which are mounted in between the V's of the engine, have very short plumbing. So because of that, you get very early spool up time, almost no lag. It feels almost like a 5.5 liter V8 as opposed to just a 4-liter V8 with forced induction. The dual clutch transmission works pretty good. If you leave it in comfort mode, it is smooth. And if you put it in full manual dynamic mode, which is like a sport mode, then it shifts nice and fast. With very little interruption in torque. This is a very fun and willing dance partner. Now it shares its entire drivetrain with the S7, as well as many other components. The dashboard, steering wheel, seats, and most of the switchgear are identical. The difference being this car is 2 inches narrower than the S7. A couple inches taller overall, although the ground clearance is the same, and there is more room in the back. I can't really fit in the back of an S7, but I can fit in the back of this. So if you're going to be driving around adults, you probably want to consider this. Plus, some people don't like the hatchback thing. They want something a little more conservative looking. And this car, it's a sleeper. It is. It's not very loud. Oh! You okay? That is a wrecked motorcycle. You okay? Everyone okay? That's a motorcycle in the ditch right there. Did you get that? Where was I then? I was talking about being conservative because you're driving a sedan that is fairly unassuming, not too ostentatious. It's got nice big 15-inch brakes, which work pretty good. They do bring the car down to the stop. Now, let's find out. Going to this corner, go hard into it through second. Yeah. And because Audi's sport differential is now standard, you've got torque vectoring in the back, which helps bring the rear end around. You combine that with the fact that the engine is now much smaller, only 18 inches front to back. It's set further back in the car. And the Audi's notorious understeer is not completely eliminated, but there is certainly a lot less of it than we've seen in the past. I love the Recaro seats. The quilting pattern is nice, very similar to the Bentleys and the Lamborghinis. And I've got the optional $6,500 Bang & Olufsen stereo system. I've got night vision, which is really cool. I've got Google with Street View. I've got a heads-up display up here. Overall, quite a bit of technology in this car. And believe it or not, it's actually a couple $1,000 cheaper than the outgoing S6. And that's because, I don't know why it is. Probably because they're using a V8 instead of a V10. The one thing that does irk me about this car is that there is also the S8, which has a very similar engine, different internals, but same physical size, and that makes 520 horsepower. And as nice as this car is, it kind of makes me sad that that engine isn't in it. because the chassis, I know the chassis could handle it. The handling and the brakes are up to par. It wouldn't add any weight. Basically, I'm saying I kind of wish this was an RS6 with 520 horsepower versus just an S6 with 420 horsepower. Now, there are some suits with Audi name tags that told me further product is in development, so I have no doubts that that engine will make its way into this car eventually, and why shouldn't it? There's plenty of car here. Some people work hard, others play hard. At the Smoking Tire, we like to do both. That's why me and the whole crew wear Dylan Optics sunglasses. This technology helps us go home with our eyes not on fire. And really, who doesn't want their eyes to not be on fire? So if you go to the link on our website and buy a pair of Dylan Optics sunglasses, I will send you a free Smoking Tire t-shirt.